Oh, is anyone there?
Okay, it's on now, I think. Because I could see that. Okay. I don't need to see that. Window. Yes, hello. I hope everyone can hear me now. And so we're about to start. And so the training is going to be on social media for business, building your brand's social media presence online. So my name is Kalumba Derek. I'm a web developer by training and software engineer, and hold a degree in information technology and business information systems, and passionate about design and how to hack social media to build brands for businesses. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So if you're having any trouble with the communication, you can send me a message and we'll sort that out. But I think that has been sorted right now. Um, so uh, yes. So we're just waiting for a few people to join, and we can start. We should be starting within the next 5 minutes. Mm. I've sent it. You. Mm. That's fine. Okay. So, welcome everyone to Enterprise Uganda Digital Training on social media for business and building your brand social media presence. So, I'm going to be your facilitator for today. My name is Kalumba Derek. I'm a web developer and software engineer by training and a holder of a degree in information technology and business information systems. Very passionate about design and how to hack social media to build brands for businesses. And that's what we're going to focus on for today. So the key takeaways for today's presentation and the things we're going to discuss mainly are going to be relevance of social media to your business and social media content, strategy development, and planning. Then lastly will be tips on social media optimization and usage and how you can fully optimize the platforms as they are. So since it's time, it's 11:30 now, we may begin as everyone is here. So it is very hard to imagine businesses right now without a social media presence or an online presence to start with. This is not a mere phase that we are going through, that social media is a phase that people are going through. Social media is here to stay and you should fully embrace it for your businesses. It is a critical aspect of your business. So that's why you see the tagline, have an online presence or die. So we can make the argument to see the future of social media and the impact it's going to have. You can take a sample space of how many millennials you know right now that have social media presence. So the millennials are your future customers or the customers of tomorrow. That's almost everyone. Then think of how many people you know that don't have any social media platform at all. That's how you should think of considering these numbers and the impact that is going to come from social media. So when we look at the numbers, as as of August 2020, 2.5 million Ugandans use social media. That's an astonishing number and customer base. So even when you get down to the fine detail, 54% of social media browsers use social media to research on products and services before they buy them. That is very key. Most people buy products only after seeing their reviews on social media. That's 54% of people that use social media do that. Then 59% of social media users are connected to a brand, and that could be your brand, that could be any brand. 59% of the people that use social media are connected to a brand. And 63% of customers expect companies to offer after services through social media. So this is an expectation from your customer base. Then 83% of the users that sent a tweet to a company and got a response felt better and are more likely to do business with a business after the one that responded to them. And 57.9% social media users in Uganda are on Facebook. This goes without saying that Facebook is the biggest social media platform as it is right now in Uganda. Then we do have LinkedIn, a platform that's usually ignored, but has almost 500,000 users. So let's discuss the relevance of social media to your business and why you must critically consider having a social media presence and an online presence. So beyond showcasing your brand, and this is how you show off what you do, and we shall get into detail of what a brand is. It helps you. This is the best tool for customer relationship management. This is the best way you can improve your customer service. So just giving off the tools that are embedded within social media platforms. So with automated customer responses, the analytical tools within, and reporting that is tailor-made specifically to your user, and the recommendations that they do have. If we did learn anything from the COVID situation, was having an online presence is the best way to future-proof your business from any disaster. Online businesses are the only places that cannot be affected by weather, natural disasters, or anything. So it is very critical to have this presence. And then develop a loyal community online. As we have said, we know what social media is. It's simply internet services that allow you to communicate online with so many people, right? So again, these are social platforms that are meant for creating social relationships. So if you want to develop a loyal community of customers, this is the best way to go. Then also expand and reach new audiences. So social media has no borders and it's unlimited. So your business and your presence will reach almost everyone in the whole world, depending on who you want to target and who you want to be your client base. Again, improve marketplace awareness of your business. Everyone is on social media, as we have discussed already, or everyone is moving to having a social media presence. The best way to showcase your business is having a social media account or online presence. So to improve market awareness of your brand, of your business, and of your product. Lastly, cost effective, right? This is the most cost effective marketing avenue that you can find. It is technically free. So it is something you should look into. It is almost free. Every other marketing aspect has to be paid for, be it newspapers, be it radio. Social media is the only. Where do we start? And this goes to say we do know the platforms that exist, from Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and Google itself. And anyone can start. These platforms, we need to break down the myth and understand that these platforms are designed and meant to be easy to use for everyone to use. So what do you need to start for starters? You could probably use a laptop, a smartphone. We probably all have smartphones, and a laptop that we're watching this to start with. So, and the other critical thing that we have to think of is all platforms serve a different purpose. So it is best to have a presence on all platforms, as you can see them there. They all engage with different audiences in different engagement styles, and different content is necessary to thrive on them. So we are going to discuss that, and we shall break down how to be present on all platforms. So the first thing we have to do is a mindset change. Let's first break down and discuss and address that pink elephant in the room. The false assumption that social media is hard work and that I don't know how to use it well, so you're not going to be present on it at all, does not work. This this so this is the first mindset shift we need to have before we go any further. Social media platforms are very easy to use, and they are designed to be so easy to use, as you can see. So please work on the mindset change of shifting your mindset to think and understand that social media platforms are so easy to use, and you are going to see how easy they are. So where do we start? Where do we start besides where to start from, right? So what we want to do is, when you get onto these platforms, your main goal is to create your brand's profile, then present your product or service, then seek and target your target audience. So the main thing is optimize. So when we're creating a brand profile, we are optimizing our social media pages, and you're going to see how easy that is. Then we'll discuss images for social media pages, the covers, and that truly represent your brand and have detailed information about your brand, right? Then create a contact list that can easily enable customers to get you or find you. Then presenting your brand is showing off your service and what you have to offer. Explain your service without always creating a call to action. And when I say call to action is how do you present your service in a way that shows value without always telling the customer to buy, right? That's what we're going to discuss. Then seeking your target audience is we're going to get into detail on how to listen into the audience and figure out what they want, finding out what they do with their audience and engaging with the audience politely in order to convert them into clients or customers. So we discussed a brand. So let's digress a bit and talk about what a brand is. And before we get into what a brand is, let's first discuss the misconceptions around brands and what brands are not. A brand is not your logo. A brand is not your product, right? A brand is, it's not what you sell, right? And it's not even the logo. A logo is a symbol of a brand. So the main thing we have to understand is what is a brand is a result, right? So a brand is the customer's gut feeling about your product and service of a company. So it is the reputation created with a product and service you put out. So your brand is your company culture, your employees' behavior. That is what your brand is. A brand is your business's reputation amongst your customers. So this is what we want to build as we create our brands on social media. It is not about logos, it's not about designs, it's not about what you sell. We can take the example of, I think maybe everyone has seen Adidas shoes, right? Adidas does not sell you the shoe as their brand. Their brand is high performance athletes. That is what they sell. Even when you see in their adverts, that is what they're promoting. But the shoe is there, and they're trying to show you that the shoe creates this this super athlete, and that's what we want to develop as we move forward. So what so to quote the founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, branding is about values. Marketing is about values, and that is what we're doing here. Digital marketing is the root of this conversation. People, as he said, was people won't remember much about your organization, so you really have to be clear about what you want them to know about you, right? And the way to do this is not to talk about being better than other people or better than your competition or how your product tastes better than others. Let's say if you're dealing in food, or how your product is better than other people's product. It is about the core values of your organization. And that is what we want to show off, right? As we create brands. So moving on. So we have understood what a brand is, right? And we want to represent our brand now on social media and build it on social media. The key thing is, so we have some 4 aspects to always look out for. How are you going to consistently represent your brand online in a manner, right? In a consistent manner online. So we have to understand what does your company do? How are you going to give detailed information on your business and what you do, right? Including your contacts and how people will find you. Then we talk about why is your team amazing? What makes your team and your employees different, right? And this is still around the idea of a brand and the experience your business gives people, right? And if as we discuss these points, these are all points of content creation for your business. When we'll get into discussing content creation and thinking of how do you represent your brand online, what ideas are you seeking to put out, right? So we also discuss why should people support your business. This goes to how do you create a story around your brand, right? How do you create content about your brand story? What is your brand story? Why why are you building this business, right? Clearly, so that has to be clearly stated. Then we break down what makes your business unique. And this is really key that we have to really focus on this. What utility is your business, right, providing to the customer? How are you going to clearly communicate your differential advantage to the clients? How are you going to set yourself apart in this ocean of businesses that exist online? So we're going to break down these concepts in the key focus, which is going to be social media planning and content strategy. So you see the quote, content is king. Content drives sales. When we speak of content, what do we mean? Content is simply information ranging from written, audio, and visual that you share with your users online. That's the content we are creating. And just a few things we've discussed right here are content ideas. This is what I meant. What does your business do is a content idea. Why is your team amazing is content, and you can still build content around this. Why should people support you, right, is also content, and you can, how do you show people your brand story? That is content to build for social media. And finally, what makes your business unique? That's also content. So as we move into this, the idea around content is to create interest, right? And add value. And most importantly, show your company's utility to people. The mistake most people make is they get onto social media and their whole idea is showing off their products to sell. They are not showing the value that their product will add to the client. So you, for example, as we'll see, you'll find so many pages online and they are only selling. Let's say if it's a boutique, they only have clothes. I'm selling this cloth, I'm selling this cloth, I'm selling this cloth. That that does not show your company's utility to the consumer. How does that content you're putting out, how does it add value to the consumer? That is what matters. That is what we mean by show your company's utility to the consumer. So content drives sales, and it is that simple. And we are going to see how you have to be consistent with that and keep building that. Okay. Yes. So what are we trying to achieve by showing content that adds value to the consumer? The main goal of this is what this does for your business and does for your brand is it puts you in an authoritative place on the service you produce. If, for example, you are a person that deals in confectionaries, if you're, for example, a person that deals in confectionaries and cakes and baking, how do you show utility to your followers without trying to sell them cakes all the time? So you teach them how to bake, right? You teach them tips on how to bake. But as you're doing this, you are showing vast knowledge of the product that you deal in. So even if you deal in skincare products and you give people advice on what skincare routines they should have, how they should take care of their skins before you sell them the product, what you are doing is showing content that will interest them, at the same time add value to them, while showing that your company's product adds value to their lives. That is what we are going for, and that is the content that thrives online, and that is the content that will sell your product. So what we are trying to do is subliminally sell to consumers without directly putting it into their faces that we are constantly selling, right? Let's move forward. So as you're creating social media content, some of the things you have to consider are your reach, right? We have to figure out the area you want to reach and who you want to reach in that area. Then the user friendliness of your contact. Figure out your content, right? Figure out how useful it is and it will be to the people you have reached. Then also consider data collection. As we're doing all this, we have to collect data and feedback from the consumers we're engaging with, right? Then finally analyze, then re-strategize and follow these steps again, right? So let's discuss the content itself. As we have said, content is king, and it's going to be the key focus of this conversation as we move forward. So what should your content be? Your content needs to be consumer centered. You must produce content that is for the consumer, that is meant to add value to the consumer. The content, as we have discussed, consumer centered, adds value to the consumer, right? That's the second characteristic of your content. Must add value to the audience, which is your followers, by being informative. Then it must also represent your brand, right? And presence of your brand. Also, it must exhibit your knowledge on the product and service that you provide. This is where we go to. As you can see, this is all around content that adds value to the consumer while showing your company's utility to your clients. So it should be interesting and fun. That's to keep them engaging and interested. It should be contextual to the platform you are posting it to. This goes without saying that some posts that will thrive on Facebook will not make it on Twitter and will not make it on Instagram. That's what I mean by it has to be contextual to the platform you are posting it on, right? So that the as we're going to break this down is yes, okay. Yes, so what we have to understand is with digital marketing is selling has to be a nuanced action. When I say nuanced, I mean it has to be, as we're creating this content, we are trying to sell, but selling shouldn't be in the face of the clients all the time, right? And that is why the idea of the content we must create has to be selling in a nuanced and subliminal way. It is not always direct. It is, I create this value for you, then I sell you my product. If you see value in my product, you should buy it. That is what we are trying to achieve with all these techniques of creating content, right? The issue with most businesses online is when they're creating content for their social media is they're not interested in engagement, right? They're only trying to show off their product and sell. So you find they don't create content that is consumer centered. The content is around what they do for themselves and what they want the customer to do for them. But the question you must ask is, what is your product going to do for the customer, right? And that is what you must show at all times. So we'll discuss that in length. So we're going to take examples from sample spaces of businesses that I was told that need to be a focus on, right? So we'll take, if someone owns a pharmacy or they deal in nutrition and, you know, sell medicines, what are some of the content ideas? What content ideas can we have, right? So the first content idea that is simple for a pharmacy is teach people about what pharmacies do. Most people have no idea the extended services that are offered in pharmacies. I, for myself, used to only think pharmacies only sell medicine, but there are extended services that they offer. So how do you teach people that these services exist within your business, right? So also products and services offered at the pharmacy. These are all content ideas that you can have on your social media presence. Then we can take the example of what just happened in the pandemic we have gone through. You can share health related news, facts about, say, COVID outbreak, flu outbreaks, cholera. We're in a rainy season right now. How do you advise as a pharmacy? What authoritative information can you give that is health related for people to get through this rainy season? That is content for you, and this is content that adds value to your client. Then also share health tips and medical knowledge. This goes into simple things like understanding dosage. Dosage is very confusing for so many people. So how do you share health tips to guide people? This is all information that you put out for free on your social media pages to gain leverage with your audience, right? In order to eventually convert them into clients. And what this does for your business is, as you become an authoritative source, it is going to build trust for your business. People feel like they know your business. People feel like they know whoever is behind that counter, and that is what matters. That people can rely on the information that you give them as you become the authoritative source on this key information. So we're going to take a look at some examples of businesses and medical personnel that I think are doing social media right. So we shall start with, say, Dr. Paul Kasenene. He has a thriving social media presence and he is very active. So if you do have time, please write this down and check out his social media page. And it is okay to get ideas from other people's pages. You don't have to copy directly, but so as you check out Dr. Kasenene's page, you will see he barely sells anything directly. What he mainly does is give advice, right? Give advice on what food to eat, give health tips. And what this has done for his brand is it has made him an authority on nutrition. And as you can see, he has built a brand around his information. He is now a trusted source that I think even has a newspaper article on a daily. This is what he is doing for. This is what creating content that adds value to the customer does for your business. So kindly check out Dr. Kansenene's page and see and pick ideas on how to represent your business online. So, all right, let's move on to the next business. The next business is Fast Pharmacy. And this is an active pharmacy that sells medicine. And they have taken using social media to a different level and created a whole infrastructure around it. And some of the infrastructure that has come with it is they do deliveries, right? And these are all benefits that you can earn within social media. Is when you build the infrastructure and fit it within your business model, you can extend to other services because you are directly communicating with your client, right? And you can directly deliver to them without any middleman, without, let's say for some businesses, you can even have your workspace at home and deliver directly. So Fast Pharmacy, as you can see in the samples here, they show images of trying to depict their customer care, trying to depict their services, and also giving tips and advice on what medicines you should take, what dosages you should take, also showing some basic medicines they sell, right? That can over the counter medicines that can be sold over the counter. So then our next business is going to be schools. These are businesses I was told that the audience will be interested in. So we're creating content ideas for these particular businesses. So if you have an education facility, be it a school, be it a vocational institute, anything that trains specialized skills, right? How are we going to create content that shows people that this is the place you want your children to be? This is the place they want their children to be, right? A community they know, how do you show that this is a community they want to be part of? Again, while at the same time addressing the differential advantage of your school. What exquisite service is your school offering that is different from other schools? This can still be depicted in your social media. So some of the ideas are capitalize on, because usually find schools barely have social media presence, but the ideas and content actually exists. So what content ideas do we have to present out there? Capitalize on school activities, say MDD, that's music, dance, and drama days, sports day, right? VD itself, or even the preparation of these days. MDD is a grueling experience. You can always show that off to the public and interest the audience and prospective clients that this is what happens within your school. This is a unique experience in your school. Then you can also show off the facilities at the school, right? Then with some schools have swimming pools, big halls, nice classrooms. How do you present that in a way that will interest parents to want to bring their kids to your school? Also, you can show off your students' work. This goes to art pieces, their poems, and everything that they create as part of their experience while at school. Then we do have motivational quotes within the academic field, or even words from staff, right? You can find a popular staff within the school that has built a repertoire with students and parents, what motivation that they can give on these platforms. Also, simply congratulating your students after results are out on social media. Again, what this does is it will show that the students perform so well, and at the same time you treasure that. So these are some content ideas for schools, and we're going to look at examples of schools that are doing this. And we can start with, say, mainly international schools have really taken on social media and focused on it. As you can see, they show off their facilities, they show off school calendars, and you can see even some are showing off that they're implementing the COVID SOPs. This is a unique experience that will show a parent that this school is safe for their children. And this can be done by anyone. And many schools are doing this, but just not taking the initiative to show it off online and have the presence. So they show off their cooking stuff, they show off just to create the idea that this is the place you want your child to be, and this is the place that is safe for your child. So we'll do have, if you can take note, you can take note of Kampala International School, Uganda. Kampala Parents is doing a really good job with their social media management. Galaxy International. These are schools that you can look out for and pick examples for your business just to see how your social media needs to be. And you'll still notice the characteristics of their content. They are not constantly trying to sell anything. They're just showing the value they will add to the client. So that is key. So the other business that is popular these days is beauty parlors and salons, right? So how do we create content for beauty parlors that goes beyond? We are trying to get you to come here and cut your hair. That is the goal, but it has to be presented in a nuanced manner. It has to be subliminal. It has to be a result of what your brand presence is online. It is not what you are trying to show off all the time. It is actually the last thing you want to do online, selling or showing people that your goal is to constantly sell to them. So some of the tips for businesses like beauty parlors or salons is teach people beauty or health or hair care tips, how to say causes of dandruff, how to prevent it. All this is information people within saloons know. So you need to translate that to the audience and show them that this is the value you can offer to them, to build trust so that they come and seek that value directly from you. So we also do have showing behind the scenes of the process, right? So can you take pictures of before and after the transformation of your client? So if a client has come in for their wedding day, before they are prepared to after their hair is plaited, how do you show that on your platforms, right? Then how do you integrate testimony videos within your social media brand? So we can still take the example of you've worked on a groom or a bridesmaid, right? How do you show that you attended their wedding, what that experience was for them? We also do have other content ideas are welcoming new employees. Whenever you hire a new stylist or makeup artist or a guy who's really good with nails, and that's a new experience that is going to be at your beauty parlor, show that person off, show off what they do, show off all these processes are points of creating good quality and engaging content. It goes without mentioning that the content must be really good with good design, right? And good pictures just to be attractive and interest the clients. So what we want to do is, even with the testimonials, what we want to do is create interpersonal relationships with your clients. Although let them be the gospel preachers of the experience they experienced at your beauty parlor or at your business. So we're going to take some examples, and we do have some hair and beauty parlor businesses and studios that are doing this well. You can take a look at Hair by Ziwa. As you can see, his content is mainly around client appreciation, which is the client testimonials, showing before and after, right? And he goes further to, because he has built this kind of trust and interpersonal relationship with his clients, that he goes further to, let's say if he works on a bridesmaid, he can extend the service of, I'll show up to your wedding and take a photo and see how good the hair looked with your outfit and how good. These are all things that are very easy to extend, and you can easily extend to your clients just to build that repertoire and that relationship with your audience. As we said, social media is the best customer relationship management tool that exists right now. The best after service tool for your business that exists as per now. So take a look at Hair by Ziwa for some examples and content ideas of what you can do with your business. So let's move on last, I think, to boutiques, right? This is also a business that has become very popular with the youth, right? And how can a person, we have to ask the question is, how can a person selling clothes and shoes create content that is valuable to the person watching their social media page? When I open your Facebook, when I open your Instagram, what do I see that is valuable to me that goes beyond you trying to sell me some shoes, trying to sell me some clothes, right? As we say, the mistake most of boutiques are making right now is you open their page and all they have is a page filled with clothes or shoes showing prices, and that information does not add value to your customer. You are constantly, it is solely about you and your business. But what we have to do is create content that adds value to clients, right? So this can apply to people who deal mainly in fashion, to say shoes, clothes, perfume. So some of the ideas, before we even get to the ones that are on the list that come to mind, are, if you sell perfume, right? What content can you create that adds value to your client, right? Beyond posting pictures of the perfume you sell every day, you can simply show them how to apply it, right? How to best use their perfume. What spots should they apply it? Is it on the wrist? Is it on the neck, right? Even some interesting facts, like what is the difference between a perfume, a cologne. All these are things that add value to your clients, so that when they are buying, they feel they trust you, they trust your information, and you are an authority on the business you are dealing in. That is what you want to build with your business. So let's go to the boutique, the ideas and some of the content ideas that you can write down to start implementing immediately that are very easy. So you can show people how to match clothes, right? How to match colors, the idea of what goes with what. That's just content that you can easily give people and show them that you understand the business that you deal in. Also explain different clothing sizes, say shoe sizes. What's the difference between a UK size and a US size? People don't know these things, but when you show off this information and give it out for free, right, you are showing authority on this particular field that you deal in. Also show them new fashion trends, right? This again goes to show that you are active within the space that you deal in. You can also show some behind the scenes stock rooms, right? Your stock room, the process you go through to organize your boutique, all those minor things that can create a personal connection to your business, right? When you go to trade, when you go to pick stock, what you're trying to show is create give your business a human look on social media, right? And that goes back to what we discussed about brands. It must feel human. People must feel like there is a person behind this social media account. That's really, really key for businesses to thrive on social media. As we say, these are platforms that are meant for people to connect. They are not meant to sell products, right, directly. That is not the goal. The goal is to create this persona, to create this business in order to eventually sell as a result. Okay, so we'll take an example of some fashion pages that you can look at and pick ideas on what they are doing. As you can see, say Fashion for Her Box UG, you'll see what they are creating is showing how the outfits will look, how to match the outfits, what shoes you need. They're not constantly posting pictures of clothes and trying to sell to the client. That is not the goal, right? The goal is showing the value of your product to the client. So finally, I think we move to the last business that is also mushrooming often is restaurants, right? So the question is, how can a person in the food business, and the food business, I think we're going to discuss restaurants, bakeries, right? How do you create content that is valuable, right? So what we want to do is say if you are dealing in a confectionery, which is baking, the key thing you have to focus on is say how do you teach people say how to bake at home, right? What does this do? What tips can you teach them to easily bake at home? What tips have you accumulated over time as the expert and authority in this business that you can share with them for them to have the same experience as you? What this does again is puts you in a position of authority and create leverage around your knowledge and what you are sharing, right? So we go to more content ideas is teach people how to cook and bake, just a few tips that you can share with them. Then show a few behind the scenes of your process and how you bake, how you start, how you arrange your things, even how you clean them, how you store them, right? Then we move to teach them different, say again, if you're still baking, teach them the different types of cakes, different, did you know, all these things that are unique to you, you must be willing to share them with your following, creating that content. Your content cannot always be showing food or say a cake and you're trying to sell that cake as you've already done. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a page that is filled with only cakes. You're going to end up with a page that is filled with only drinks. Give more detail than that. Give information that adds value to your client. How do you ice? How do you make icing? What is in icing? What are the different types? This is key information to your audience. Finally, how do you integrate testimonies of customers that appreciated your service on your platforms. Obviously, through their consent, you can find a way of sharing that content. So we're going to take a look, an example from some businesses that are doing this really well. Take Cafe Javas. Beyond building the brand they have built, their social media pages are one to look out for. When you check any of their pages, you realize that they never mention that they are selling any food, because that's not what they do. That's not what their brand is. They sell an experience, and that is the key focus around that business. Everyone talks about the experience they have at that place, and that is what you are going for with your business. So take a look at their pages, including other accounts like Brisk Restaurant and Cafe Lounge and Caramel Lounge. You'll see what they're selling. You see how how Cafe Javas integrates testimonies of their customer service on the pages, right? And the experience their customers have while at their place. So this goes without saying, as you have seen, social media is a very visual place, almost fully visual the whole time. So this goes without saying, good design matters. You must entice your audience with really good visuals, stunning visuals, and we're going to see how easy it is to make these visuals. So if you are still struggling with content and it is becoming, and you have tried everything we have said before and you're still struggling with finding time to create content, and you know it is becoming hard work for you to create content for your social media platforms, one of the things I have to say is most people think social media marketing is a by the way. This is a mentality we must get rid of. This is a key aspect of your business, and it should be taken care of as you take care of sales, as you take care of stock keeping. You must focus on it like it is a core, like any other core aspect of your business. It should be a key aspect of your business model. But if you're still struggling with content, we're going to break down a few ways on how to say create one piece of content and break it down into smaller pieces of content for your social media platforms. So in order to help you with your time. So say you have one day and you only have one day that you can create content and you don't have any other time. What you can do is create a long form of content, which we're calling the pillar content. So this is your content that you can create. Say if you're baking, you can shoot, right? Which is record the whole process, right? Then repurpose that content into micro content. When I say micro content, I mean create short pieces of content from it. So if you have shot one long video, that means you can create a short piece of images, which can be screenshot pictures. Then you can create GIFs, right? You can create memes. You can create even audio, right? So even if you are a brand, even if it was myself right now, I would record this training and my video and everything, and I cut small pieces of it. And I do now have micro pieces of content that I can use over a longer period of time. So after creating these smaller pieces, so now you do see that you have more than 3 types of content. You do have images, you do have a visual, and you do have audio. All these have platforms they can exist on. So when you distribute your video to Instagram or Facebook, then you distribute your written word, right? The recording on a podcast avenue, then you write what was in the recording again on Facebook or a blog. We're creating all avenues because all these avenues have different audiences that exist on them and want to capture every audience for your business. So this is one of the easiest ways to break down your business. But we need to also discuss the strategy you must have. This is to sum up everything we have discussed around content. The first step is creating awareness. And what we're doing in creating awareness is you want people to know your business exists. You want people to know you exist. This means you are simply doing that. You are not having any call to action, which is buy this. You are just showing that you provide this service. Then engage them about the product and service that you provide, right? This is within awareness. Then listen and get feedback. While listening, we're going to discuss what listening is in detail on in regards to social media and digital marketing. Then create content that adds value to them. This is a strategy we're breaking down from the start. Creating awareness, that is step one. Make people know you exist. There is no call to action. Don't try to sell things to them. Engage them about your product and service in a way that shows value to them, in a way that adds value to them. Then listen and create content that adds value to them. Then the next thing we're going to do is step two, which we'll call the hook. Get into advertising to them. So social media is one of the best platforms whereby you can know whoever has seen what you wanted to show them. This is through advertising. So what we want to do is subliminal advertisements. Target everyone that saw your product and show them what you produce through advertising, constantly advertising to them. And advertising is a whole other field of discussion that we shall get into. But step two is to hook them through advertising your product, which they've already seen. Then finally, this, as we have said, should be your last thing to do. Request. So the request, step three is the call to action. Direct them on where to buy. This is the final move. The mistake is most people start straight away with requesting, and that is where they go wrong. So how do we effectively work online? So I'm going to create for you an example of an online schedule for you to thrive. What you have to do is consider how you choose the photos and creating designs, right? So these are the key aspects of engaging your followers that we are going to discuss here. So this looks at how you should be engaging with the potential clients, and this is a schedule that you can implement or you must implement every day. At worst every other day you should be creating content, but content must be up on a daily basis. These platforms are so busy and you can easily get drowned, but also it is so easy to produce content every day, as we discussed on how even if you don't have time, you can have a long piece and break it down. So step one is choosing photos and creating designs, then writing effective copy, then uploading that content, then connecting with your followers and choosing the testimonials to show. These are all still content ideas that you can have. So how to deal with your customers or the consumers of your audience and the content that you're creating online. So when I say interact with your followers, we do mean respond to every single comment and message, right? Some businesses, you find a business with less than 1,000 followers and you can't even respond to every single person. That is probably what we would say borderline laziness. You must be able to interact with every follower because you want to build an interpersonal relationship with each and every person. And we also know that the psyche behind people is when people are responded to by businesses, they feel good. As we discussed, that interaction makes people want to do business with you, and it is key. So also think about quick responses to inquiries. As we said, this is social media presence is not a by the way, it must be something you do as part of your business. When someone asks a question or sends you a direct message to your DM, respond immediately, right? So within the interaction, you must be quick to respond, then be swift in taking orders and or assisting clients when they have an issue, right? Deliver on your process, on your promises, you know, then keeping customers informed, as we discussed the importance of that, keeping customers informed on the new products you have, what is happening with your business. Then also keeping customers delighted. This is just courtesy and proper interaction. So the final segment, as we come to an end, is just a few tips on the various social media platforms, and the tips are going to be focused around platforms from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Google. So the first key thing we're going to discuss mainly as the tips are how to optimize your pages. So optimizing pages means working on your profile, on your social media profiles and your social media presence within a way that fills in all the details to the platform's satisfaction. These platforms have requirements, and in order to optimize the page, you must fill in every required detail and information about your page, right? Therefore, we are discussing having good images, having a good cover photo, having a good logo, and all this can be done by you. You do not need to hire anyone, and we're going to see how easy that is, right? So these are part of properly representing your brand online, right? The designs and the good cover photos, and so it is key for you to try and check out content creation websites like Canva. So through this website, you can easily create posts for social media, any social media platform. When you go to, as I've put in the link before, in the links below, www.canva.com, it is key. If you can note this down, note it down. So on Canva, you'll be able to see that Canva gives you the liberty to create content for every social media platform. As we discussed, these platforms are all different. They take different types of images, different sizes. So if you want a cover photo for Facebook and you go to Canva, simply type in Facebook cover photo in Canva search, and they'll show you a template that you can edit yourself with your own company images, or even creating logos, creating posts for Instagram. If you wonder how all these businesses make that good content, most of them are using these platforms. So another one is www.postermywall.com. So I think I'll just give a few minutes for a few seconds for people to write this down. So yes, probably at the end. All right, so the first platform we're going to look into is WhatsApp for Business, right? So WhatsApp for Business, WhatsApp says this platform was built for small businesses in mind, and it is, as WhatsApp is the biggest social media platform with over 2 billion users per day, right? Over 2 billion users per day and messages sent on a day-to-day basis. So this is the best platform for you to build personal relationships with your clients. It is a very one-on-one platform and gives clients great customer service because you are directly talking to them. So every business must ensure to have a WhatsApp for Business, different from your WhatsApp, and you will see how different that is. So the whole point is to give your business a human aspect, right? And also, as we're thinking of WhatsApp for Business, if you are critical about creating, it is the best platform for you to create a direct database of contacts with your clients, while at the same time building business relationships, right? And the benefit of creating a database of contacts is, as so take the example of, we have gone through this pandemic period. The businesses that had WhatsApp for Business had direct contact with their clients. Most businesses that suffered did not even know the numbers of their clients. They did not know the names, but some businesses took the initiative of collecting data. And this is the most important aspect of any business at this point, as we move into a more technological business space. As we've said, social media is the only platform whereby you can sell to a client and get to keep their personal name, get to keep their phone number, even get to know their friends, say on platforms like Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp and all, and Twitter. You can get to know their friends, you can get to know the things they look at, their posts. This is all information that you can use in respect to your business and how to develop products. So if you are keen, WhatsApp for Business gives you this platform to create a database of contacts and clients. So, and another advantage of WhatsApp for Business is beyond other platforms is WhatsApp messages have a 98% open rate. This means that people open 98% of the messages they receive on WhatsApp, only because this is a private number you're sending a message to. That's why it's better than email, because most people on email, if you receive an email from a stranger, you probably send it to spam. But by the time I send you a message on WhatsApp, it's, I have your number, I probably know you. You are most likely to open that message. And if we're to broaden this idea of contacts and creating databases, is we have to think of how underutilized we use these platforms and these phones, right? If you are to take a sample space of right now and marketing within your phone, I could place a bet that people use less than 5% of the total contacts in your phone book. Yet this is a platform for you to build your business and advertise. So if you check your phone right now, your WhatsApp contacts, you talk to less than 5% of the total contacts you have within your phone. Yet if you found a way to strategically build relationships and talk to even if 50% of the contacts within your phone, say if you have a new business, how do you talk to 50% of those people and tell them directly and in a polite manner? Obviously, we have to think about these other aspects of it. How do you send a message to all these people and tell them, hey, I just opened, I sell cakes. If you ever have a function, this is what I do, this is what I do. You have over, say, 300 contacts, but less than 10% know that you sell cakes, right? By the time you got that person's contact, that means you are trying to build a relationship. So how do you build a relationship and a conversation that is valuable to you and will also add value to the other person? So we must fully find a way to utilize our contacts and our numbers within our phone book. So if you can try it today. If you have a business, try and send a personalized message to every single contact in your phone. Personalized, whereby I mean, don't copy and paste and send the same message. Send a message that is directed to that person with their name, telling them this is what you do, this is what you do, and this is the way you can add value to them. If they ever come across an opportunity, you can be a reference point. And that's the best way to utilize these platforms. But when we talk about optimizing, say, the WhatsApp profile, WhatsApp for Business, you must ensure that you choose a quality photo, right? An image that represents your brand. As we have discussed, you can do this on Canva and post on my wall, just www.canva.com. Then obviously maintain your business name and brand on the contact. Don't put a personal photo on your WhatsApp business profile. That misconstrues the image of your business. Then share your WhatsApp business link on other social media platforms, and we're going to see how to do that directly. Then add location to your profile. So yes, we have discussed this, why WhatsApp for business, why we have to think of WhatsApp for business over WhatsApp, because there are two different applications. WhatsApp for business is also in the App Store and it is free. So the key things WhatsApp for business provides is you can create a business profile. So you can create a business profile with helpful information for your customers, say your address, so your business description, your physical address, your website, right? You can also have automated responses. Say you can create an automatic response for a customer, say for the moments when you are not available on the phone. When they send you a message, they will receive an automated response and it feels like they're not waiting for so long. Also, finally, it has labels. You can create labels which make it easier for you to organize chats and easily find them, right? You can create labels of services delivered, goods still in transit, all these things are aspects of WhatsApp for business. So a practical thing of what WhatsApp business does for you is it will enable you provide customer support, then getting feedback and doing consumer research, because whoever has texted you on customer for WhatsApp for business is your direct customer, or they have a certain interest in your business, right? Then also you can use it to send reminders and updates on your business, right? Then in an exclusive manner, as we have discussed, let's say businesses that had collected contacts, even if you are, say, a musician and you want to create special offers, you can say you're creating special offers for only people in your database, and they're the first ones to find out about those special offers. Even if, as we have said, even to send out reminders and updates, if you are pivoting your business into a new product line, these are the people you can share with directly first. So let's say, again, also you can use the stories to show the process and an informal glimpse into your business. So Facebook. So again, one of the biggest social media platforms is the umbrella business for WhatsApp and Instagram. They're all under Facebook. So it will put your business in front of the largest markets because it's the biggest social media platform as it is. And we'll discuss the types of content that we did say that all these social media platforms require different types of content. So the types of content that are suitable for social media, for Facebook to start with, are long form. So this is long form videos. Those are videos that work best on Facebook. This is long form texts. This is pictures. Visual content is the best content for Facebook right now. So how do you optimize your Facebook page to properly represent your brand and easily show up in searches and for your clients to easily find you? So the first thing you have to do is choose a quality photo for your profile image or your cover photo, right? This can still be done on Canva. Just go to Canva and type in Facebook cover photo. Make sure you include a keyword in your name of your Facebook name. This is not your username. Your Facebook name is different from your username, or what they mean with the @ symbol. So what I mean by keyword is, if you deal in cakes, add the word cake in your name. This will enable your business to show up first. If you deal in hardware, add the word hardware in your name so that your business shows up first on Facebook. So optimize your bio and your description. Facebook has an option whereby you can put an about us or a bio or a description about your business. And within this bio, also bio and description, also ensure to add a keyword that relates to your business. If you're a pharmacy, add the word pharmacy and add the possible keywords that are dealing with that business. If you deal with the hardware, add cement, add those small keywords that people always search for online. So you can also just go and search keywords within your business and add them to your description. Add a call to action button, right? So Facebook allows you to add a button within your description. So the call to action must be inserted in a direct way for you to benefit from them clicking that button, right? This is where I say WhatsApp for Business comes in. So you must add a link that directs them to say, talk to you directly. Yeah. So then choose the right business category of your business. As you're registering your Facebook business page, they give categories of business. You must choose the right category. Otherwise, your business will get jumbled up in another category. Then add contact information. This is really key and it's seemingly obvious, but add information of your phone number, your location, and how people can get to you. So content, which is the most important aspect of these platforms, is we discuss the characteristics of the content you must have on these platforms. So another tip on Facebook is listening and spying on your competition. What you can do is simply search for your competition or someone you consider your competition. Look into their content and look into their customer engagement, and within their engagement you can also engage with their audience. You can also directly message their customer. If a customer, they say they didn't respond back to you, you can respond back to them. But this takes initiative of you searching for them, going to their pages and talking to them. Lastly is using hashtags and location hashtags. If you're a business in Kampala, use the hashtags of Kampala, say hashtag Kampala, or any trending topic that has a hashtag going with it. So we're going to see how to add WhatsApp text to Facebook page. How do you add a WhatsApp button to your Facebook page? So this is a direct tip for you to, the idea is to directly communicate and indirectly collect personal contacts of clients. That is what we want to achieve with this, because having so many followers does not matter. What matters is having data. That is the key aspect, and that is where we are moving. Having data is the most important thing. If you have so many followers and you don't have any of their contacts, that's why you see so many businesses still suffered during this COVID period, because they still didn't know who their customer base was. They have so many followers, they have so many people entering their shop, but they don't have any single information on them. So having this button on your page is supposed to enable you communicate directly to your clients, but at the same time collect personal contacts of your clients. So texting as a call to action, for example, converts more than calling. So you find so many pages with their button being call me or message me, but message me on Facebook Messenger. What we want to do is message me on WhatsApp, or replace that call button with text me. As we know, texting is as a call to action converts more, because first of all it involves no airtime, no airtime costs. You can simply just send a message. So also it will also enable you directly send, as you do this, you directly send your user or your follower to your WhatsApp business and enable them for better conversation, right? So again, as we're doing this, we are creating a database of contacts. So imagine having the contact of everyone that has ever entered your shop. This is what we want to get to create that database. So what you have to do is simply go to your Facebook for Business page, go to the settings, right? As you can see, you can take a screenshot of this. Look for within the settings on your right hand side, on your left hand side, there's the option of WhatsApp. Look for that WhatsApp tab. Enter your WhatsApp number and click send code. So after clicking send code, they'll send the code to your number. Verify that code, then simply add button to your page. This can only happen when you have a Facebook business page and a WhatsApp business application on your phone. So most businesses, I'm sure most of you have WhatsApp for Facebook business pages. So you just need to have the WhatsApp for business application and follow these steps. So the next platform. So the next platform is Instagram. So this is a visual platform. So what we have to focus on is the pictures that you take must instantly be recognizable, right? So we're still in regards to optimizing the Instagram page, still the same basics. You have to focus on choosing quality photos and images to represent your brand, right? You have to also include a keyword in your username. In your name, sorry, not your username. Your username is the one that has at this, but your name can be anything. And within your name, you must add you must add a keyword to your name. If you do something in clothes, some boutique, add it. If, cake, add the word cake. Keywords are very important in search and what we call search engine optimization, right? So then also optimize your bio. As we looked at the examples we gave of the Instagram pages to pick a leaf from, you'll go and see how optimized their pages are. Then add a call to action. You can still add that WhatsApp link to your Instagram page. And we have discussed that, the importance of that, right? Okay. So choose the right business category. That's also key on Instagram. Instagram for business is also something that exists, and you have to create an account there. Or even your Instagram account, you can turn it to a professional account. So when it comes to content, which is still the most important aspect of all these platforms, right? We have to think about what content goes on Instagram. The content that goes on Facebook can never thrive on Instagram as it is. If you just create content and say you're going to just send it everywhere, it won't work. Instagram takes visuals. Instagram takes your video shouldn't, if you're creating a promo video or an advertising video, it shouldn't be more than 1 minute. And if it's to be longer 1 minute, you have to create a specific video for Instagram TV. But again, as we discussed content, you must understand that you have to show content that adds value, right? That adds value to your audience, to the people that you are creating this content for. So as you're creating and optimizing these bios, at a quick glance, I must know what your business does at a quick glance, because the attention span of social media users is very short. So that's why you see the videos are 1 minute and everything should be well organized in detail. So what can you do on Instagram, right? We should be able to listen and spy on competition. We're going to see exactly how to do that. Then Instagram really uses hashtags. So if you use the appropriate hashtags, you can easily be categorized for audiences to find you, right? So another thing that you can think of as a business on Instagram is using influencers. And influencers are just people who have managed to build an audience and following online that they have the impact to to leverage their audiences and followings to sell products. You can easily evaluate this. You can check on the ones that have built an audience and can sell a product and negotiate a way for them to integrate your product in their content, right? Again, you must be part of their selling process, because they must understand your brand and understand how you want to be represented and how that fits within the content they create. So the practical tip here is how to listen on Instagram. And when I say listen, I mean how to spy on your competition or how to find new markets. So the whole point is to grow engagement, right? So what we're doing here is we want to find new audiences or new clients, right? So the steps are, you go to Explorer, which is your search, right? You go, there's an Explorer button at the bottom of Instagram, on the Instagram link, on the Instagram application. Click search and type in your city, your specific city that you're in. Then select places, right? When you select places, it will show you all the recent photos in that area, right? And so if I open my phone right now and I go to Explorer and I type in Kampala City, right? And I select a place, say Acacia Mall, it will show me all the pictures of anyone who took a photo at Acacia Mall and posted it online, right? Obviously to show people who had their location setting on, but to show you every single photo that was taken by people in that area. So what is the next step for you to do here? Because if you want to grow engagement and eventually convert people, say you deal in weddings, right? You can wedding and events, all those things. You can go search, look for the place, select places, and type in what you want to search: weddings, right? And it will show you everyone that took a wedding photo and posted it online in Kampala. So what do? You can politely comment on their image, right? In a way that kind of shows utility of your service. And what we're trying to do is, here we know people barely get comments from strangers online. So what does this do? Understanding the psyche, and marketing is all about understanding the psyche of your audiences, right? What this does is it will force someone to see the like, then they'll click on your profile, right? And if you're well organized and you've done fully optimized your pages, as we had discussed before, they're most likely to see the service you produce or even follow you back. This is what we want to do, right? This is what we want to achieve, to grow engagement, and they're more likely to check out your profile, right? This works on Twitter, this works on Facebook. It's a simple trick that you can always do on your own and to improve your engagement. So you can take a screenshot of this. The step is, go to Explorer, click search, and type in your city. Select places, right? It will show you on the map a few places within that area. Then you can click that place you want to see, and to show you all the photos taken in that place. So look and comment likely within regard to a photo, right, that relates to your business. But obviously be thoughtful. Don't say something mean, say something positive and something that can enable them to check out your page. Courtesy is a must. So second last platform we are going to discuss is Twitter, right? So before we even start discussing how to optimize Twitter, the most important aspect on Twitter is finding your voice, right? Twitter is the platform was built to be conversational. It's a conversational platform, and the content on there has to be conversational. You are not posting just to live there. You are posting to create a conversation and build an audience. Even the structure of the system and the design is built for conversations. That's why it has a word limit that is short. It has all these things because they want to create easy to read conversations. So the most important thing you have to think of as your business is your voice. Again, this is to humanize your business. You have to think of that human aspect of your business and the voice you want to take on. So you have to consider, is your business going to be polite? Is it going to be sassy? Is it going to be funny? Right? Is it going to be political? Are you going to be passive? Are you going to be aggressive? All these are things you must think of as you are typing your content on Twitter. Your tone will guide and should dictate how you interact with all your audiences, right? So that is a key thing to really think about on Twitter. But also videos, and I think the videos are under 2 minutes, and images work great on Twitter. And this is the kind of platform where you have to post every day, every single day. The worst you can do is post once a day. As we have said, all these platforms deal in different audiences and have different audiences, right? So most likely the people on Twitter are not active on Facebook. So you have to get to them. And the people on Facebook may not be that active on Twitter. So you have to get to them. And the people on Instagram are also doing their thing on Instagram, and you have to get to everyone. It is very simple. You can easily create, as we discussed, you can create a content calendar and strategize and plan how you're going to distribute your content. Creating content is a very simple thing. And if you need more help, you'll contact me and we'll find a way of discussing that. So how do you optimize Twitter in your Twitter page, right? Pardon that error. So again, it is key, the basics, right? Your image has to represent your brand. They have a cover image that has to represent your brand that you can still get done for free on Canva, right? Just type in Twitter cover photo, right? So that the dimensions fit. All these platforms take different pictures and picture quality and picture dimensions. So your contact details must be fully there and should be easy to understand what your business does. Your profile must communicate your business, right? So you must add a call to action, obviously, right? How to get people to directly talk to you. Then the type of content, we have discussed the content that goes there. It is conversational content, and you must figure out what you want your business's voice to be, right? And stay in that lane. If you're going to be a business, do you want to avoid political spaces? Do you want to avoid being aggressive? Do you want to be passive? Do you want to be funny, right? And how are you going to build your brand voice on those platforms? But we've also said videos under 2 minutes work very well, and images also work because people pay attention to those. Again, we also said listening, right, works so easily on Twitter. You can easily listen, and we're going to see how to find customers in your area on Twitter and how to engage with them. So hashtags is also a thing that works very well, and it is something I think that Twitter really started, and it really helps your post move further and be seen by more audiences. So when it comes to advertisement, the the best thing on Twitter beyond and that really converts beyond paying for Twitter's paid advertisements is working with influencers. As we said, influencers are just people who have gained a certain following and can influence their following to buy your product. So you can easily find these people and talk to them and negotiate pricing and details